And okay, hey guys, this is Zai, and today I am with my dear sister Cordelia, and both of us are authors, and we're gonna introduce to you our books and talk about why we wrote a book, what are the messages we have for people, and why you should write a book or not. Yeah?
Yes, or not. I love that part.
Yeah, because so I had a question from one of my followers asking about the book writing journey. Did it help in
Mm.
my business? How I started? She asked me like 20 questions in one short paragraph. I'm like,
Wow.
I need to do a Zoom with someone so we have a lot of perspective and opinions and real advice. Yeah,
Mhm.
of course. Okay, maybe you want to introduce yourself, Cordelia, in 3 sentences. Your name, what
Okay.
you wrote, and what you do.
Yeah, thank you for this. Thank you for having me here. And I think this is a great discussion. So I'm Cordelia Gaffar. I am the CEO of Workout Around My Day, and I'm the author of 8 books. And all my books are about helping women to elevate their souls through creating sustainable practices of self-nurturing.
Nice. So self-love, self-respect, self. But you take care
Mm-hmm.
of yourself before you take care of others. I think that's the
Yeah.
So guys, I'm Zai. I've written 2 books, Turn Your Passion into Profit, 5 Things I Love About Being a Woman, and I help people step up their game, turn dreams into reality with confidence and clarity by turning your pain into power. Yeah.
Wow. So powerful. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go straight into the question the lady asked me. Okay, so she's from
Mhm.
Pakistan. She also does a lot of coaching and leadership works. So she wanted to ask me regarding how you thought of writing a book. What inspired you to write a book, Cordelia?
So see, it was the other way around for me. I never thought of myself as a coach. So in the beginning, I wrote a book, right?
Oh,
Yeah. So my
what
first,
made you write a book? Yeah.
yeah, because I wanted, so I'm a mom. I have 6 children and I homeschool. So many of the mothers in my co-ops, they always asked, all these questions. How do you show up happy at 8 o'clock in the morning with 6 kids? So I decided to write a book about it and share it with others. And I started just by doing workshops, and that was it for me. So I never intended to be a coach. I was going to be a one book wonder. Hmm.
Okay. So what was the first reason you want write a book to complement your workshop? No.
No, I wanted to write a book to help other people, to help other
Parents
moms. Yeah.
to ask to answer the mothers who said, okay, how do you show up at 8 looking happy with 6 kids? I don't think I can do that. So well done on you. But well, other things. So for me, what inspired me to write a book was so I've been an entrepreneur the last 22 years, do a lot of businesses, travel the world, live my life, and by design, maybe accidentally, but by design. But anyways, what inspired me to write the book was when I had one of my lady I met at an event and became a Facebook follower. This was 10 years ago. And she wrote to me one day and said, hey, Zai, I need to speak to you. I called her, and in the 10th minute, she said, Zai, thanks for talking to me. I was just thinking of committing suicide, and I feel better now. So when that
Whew.
happened, I was, I mean, every time I say this, it feels like I'm saying it the first time. I think you've heard this
Yeah.
before, but it's like heavy, you know? So I said, oh, maybe, of course, on the spot, I said, if you need something, sister, just give me a call. But on the spot, I said, God, what is it that you want me to do? I've
Hmm.
learned how to turn my pain into power through my accident. I moved from victim to victor, turn my pain into power. But all my life, everything I did was turning my passion into profit, turning my hobbies into money. And I said, maybe money is the problem. Let's teach her how to turn passion into profit. And that's
Hmm.
how the first book was born. So, for those of you who are asking, how did you think of writing a book? Somebody may have asked you a question like to Cordelia, how do you manage this? Somebody asked me, how do you learn to walk again? How did you do your businesses? How did you blah, 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 blah? So it's like, so if there was a problem that you have solved, you can find a solution for yourself, then you can be the solution provider. Then another secret of writing a book is all of us have a mess that is a message for the masses.
Yes.
You just need to
And
decide. Yeah, sorry.
That's what my last book was, I would say. So like progressively, I was, about teaching different things. Like you remember that year when Ramadan was like all day long, like 20 hours fast, right? So I wrote a book about Ramadan hacks, Ramadan food
Yeah.
hacks, right? To prepare the hydration and the body and everything for the long fast. But then the last book is more like what you're saying. So detached love, transforming your heart so that you can transform your mind. That was my mess. That turned into a message. And, I feel like I really bared my soul in there. And I talked about my mess.
Yeah, and there is a lot of power in writing because it's healing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why even
Yeah,
when I coach people to write their book and they want me to write, I said I can only do maximum 70%. You have to write and fill stuffs up because your energy, your essence, your attributes, your message, the book has to spell you, right?
it
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Okay, cool. First question down. And how do you compile all your great messages and lifelong learnings and expertise in a book? So for yourself, Cordelia, did you get help or did you write your first book yourself?
Oh no, I wrote my first book myself.
So how did you compile all of that and put it into a book? How would
Because I kept a blog for 5 years.
you?
And so at the end of the 5 years, I mean, this was a long time ago. Remember Blogger? And
Blog, yeah.
there was this button that said, download all your blogs or whatever and create a book. And so that's what I did. And so, because it was in Blogger, it was already organized.
Wow,
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's how you compile all your great messages and lifelong
Mm-hmm.
learnings and expertise in a book. For my first book, I I I break it down into 5 chapters. So it was the formula of truth.
Mm.
I was inspired when I read the Quran. It was one Ramadan, before 15 years, I think, before that 5 years before I read the book. So it was 15 years ago. And one Ramadan, I woke up, I was reading, and Allah kept saying, subhanahu wa ta'ala, kept saying, don't you think? Like, أَفَلَا تُفَكِّرُونَ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ? Don't you think? Don't you reflect? Ba, 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 ba. And as I was reading, not just the Arabic, because in Ramadan I tried to read the Arabic in the day, and at night I read the English, the
Mm.
transcription, translate
Translation.
translation, yeah, transcription, translation. So when I read the English translation, of course, then I understood because before I couldn't speak Arabic. So when I read the translation, I said, Allah kept saying, why don't you think? Why don't you reflect? And then I took time out from the Quran and I was writing things down. I was like, that's the formula of truth.
Mm-hmm.
So TRUTH that I teach today
Mm.
in my trainings, in my 5 chapters of the book and everything is think, reflect,
Mm-hmm.
understand, take
Mm-hmm.
action, and
Ah.
and heal others.
Mm.
And of course, now I understand before you heal others, you heal yourself as well.
Yep.
So that's how the birth of the second book. But so that's how I compiled my messages, my book into this whole thing, whereby I broke it down into chapters. And then to turn passion into profit, I help people, okay, now think, how do you turn your passion into profit? Think about what you've done, what you tried, what haven't you tried, and then reflect, and then understand, and then take action, and then heal others. So it was a process that I was
Mm.
inspired. It became a book chapter, it became my training program, and then now I use it a lot for a lot of the things that I do.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's how I compile my message. And of course, with the second book, Five Things I Love About Being a Woman, is the 5 Bs. So, beauty, brain, brawn, belief, and blessed. So then
Oh.
I broke it down into beauty of form, beauty of substance. Brains
Mm.
is not just intelligence, like intelligence IQ. It's also about EQ, about
Mm-hmm.
financial intelligence. I cannot stress how important this is. So that's how I compiled my messages into a book. And what about you? Do you want to share something else? How you compiled maybe something else from the other books?
Yeah,
Book.
so let's see. I want to say Yeah, similar story. Like the first book, it was about 15 years going into that, right? Because for
Mhm.
13 of those years, I was like, I don't have time to write a book or, whatever. And then I was like, I just did.
By the way, you
For
look 25. Did you start at 10?
Yep, that's what it was, just like you.
How, how young are you, please?
How young am I? I could be your mom.
Oh, maybe my
Maybe
sister.
not. Maybe your
Yeah,
sister.
yeah, yeah. I'm not
Okay.
25, so no.
Oh, you're not 25. Okay.
I'm 42, and you are?
Oh, I'll be 52 this year.
So guys, the
Mashallah.
next book we're gonna write, inshallah and mashallah, is How to Age Gracefully. Anyways, back to one of the books that you wrote. Yeah.
So, yeah, my last book though, it was a download. It was similar story. I had gone for this hike for my birthday.
Okay.
And I was really going to give up on my business, because there was so much mess in my marriage.
Mhm.
But when I came back from this hike, I was like, I had this clarity moment, and I really felt like I just asked, I said, so how do I transform my life?
Mhm.
And like I was sitting in my garage and it just came to me, right?
Wow.
The replenish me process, release, restructure, refresh, and rebirth. So release what's expected and accepted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Detach, right? Detach. And then restructure based on my values and my belief, right? My values, my belief, love, only love, right? Just unconditional, the way Allah loves us. And then refresh, just begin again.
Nice.
And rebirth, and the rebirth is whatever, whatever now your heart is aligning with, whatever
The
your
new
heart,
version
yeah.
of you. Yeah, the new
Mm-hmm.
version of you. Reborn.
Yeah.
Powerful. Powerful. So
Yeah.
technically it was again a journey of turning a mess into a message, right? You wanted
Mm-hmm.
to give up, you step up to turn the pain into power
Mm-hmm.
with
Yep.
purpose.
Yes,
Amazing.
with purpose. Yeah.
Amazing. 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 Oh wow. Okay. So how it started, I think we kind of shared that. And after achieving, how beneficial it became, the book became for you in terms of recognition.
Oh my gosh.
Tell
You go
me.
first.
No, no, you tell me. A
Well,
lot of,
like
yeah.
2019, that's when I got my first award. So I got an award for my podcast, which was at that time called the Replenish Me Show. And, then I got a reward for top influence of the year. And then, it's like all of a sudden, as soon as
Oh.
I recognize myself,
Mm-hmm.
and then, you know,
Mm-hmm.
everyone else was seeing, you know.
Okay, cool. And for me, how it started, I think you kind of shared how beneficial it became. I think for me, having the book, I always say this, be an author, be in authority. So you
Mm-hmm.
became a subject matter expert. Secondly, the book is like a name card. It's a powerful name card. Um, and thirdly, I use it as a textbook in my coaching, mentoring, and training program. So it's like an aftercare. So after
Mm-hmm.
we run a training or something, the youths or the leaders or whoever is we are running the show, the event or the program for, they have something to take home. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a powerful memento, and they always can go back and learn. And more than recognition, of course, media interviews, podcast interviews, awards, like you said, I think more than recognition, it is something for you to also look back. It's you live your dreams, you leave a legacy. I think this is going to be a legacy. If I die today or tomorrow, I know someone can download the ebook, the audiobook, the masterclass, buy the books, and have access to knowledge that we want to share and have been inspired to share.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And since we are at this, I want to ask you a very interesting question because something really pisses me off when people don't support creatives and
Mm.
they expect, like when I go to events, when I show people my book, because it's my name card. It's like my poster, right? I'm like, oh, hi, I wrote a book. And they're like, oh, is this for me? Have you had
Hmm.
that moment before?
Yes and no. So sometimes I just give my book, right?
Yes. When you give
Um,
it, when you give it's fine, of course.
yeah,
But go on.
but other times, yes, um, and for me, I always think people behave with you the way they behave with themselves.
Ah.
So for me, it's an opportunity, right? I recognize many people struggle with self-love, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I make a choice in the moment to you know, have compassion for that person.
Okay.
And I can change my intention on the spot. It's like, yeah, that is for you, right? So
Okay.
even if someone means it as harm, it's
Yeah.
always a blessing for me. But I
No.
know, yeah, I mean, it could piss me off, but why? I don't want
Okay.
that
For
energy.
me, okay, fantastic. Maybe you are kind and you are more generous than me or something. But for me, I think I'm kind and I want to gift when I want to gift, when I know
Mm-hmm.
where is the place to give. Because firstly, a creative, a person who writes a book, we print the books, a lot of energy go into it, and knowledge is an energy exchange. I think someone who expects some things for free have no self-respect.
Mm.
I
Okay.
think someone who expects such things for free, don't respect the creative. Then
Mm.
they lack self-respect. And to me, that's very cheap character
Mm-hmm.
because I used to be a not so smart. I wanted to say fool, but yeah, it's the truth. I was like, oh yeah, maybe they will read my book. They might share something on their platform. Why should someone do that for you, firstly? Secondly, if they really wanted to, if they paid, they will also do the same.
Mm.
So I want creatives, I want authors, I want people who create. It's okay to give when you want to. I'm going to do CSR works. We're going to give out hundreds and 500 or maybe 1,000 copies to Kenya in March.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have to do such things because we want to. But energy exchange is important. Being respected and working with people with self-respect, I think is something that is lacking. Nobody speaks about this. And that's why I want to bring this up. And I did.
I love that you brought that up. Okay, yes, I agree with you.
Thank you.
And no, I mean I don't disagree with that at
I
all.
know. Yeah. Go on.
Um the
Because I think we don't realize that even because it
mm-hmm.
became such a normal thing, and that's why I want to bring it up.
Yeah, so let's really spend some time with this
Tell
because
me.
um even worse than what you're saying, people have actually taken my book, read my book, and stolen
Oh,
like an artist,
oh,
y-
oh,
you know?
nice. Yeah,
But here, you
I've
know what I'm
encountered that.
saying?
Oh yeah, I've encountered that. I've
I,
encountered that.
I I've seen people take my stuff, like post, throw it into AI, rework it, and like sell
Mhm,
coaching programs and make money off of it. I mean, let's
mhm,
be real.
mhm,
And you know what I think? I am an infinite pool of wisdom.
mhm,
So they got that little freeze frame of who I was. And think about this. When I published my book, this last book, Detached Love, this one,
mhm.
that has my replenish me process in it. When I published that in 2020, it was the iteration of me from the previous 10 years, right?
Right.
So I'm not even that person anymore.
Nice.
So they're iterating on something that who I was, but who
Nice.
I am now, I'm so much more, right? So yeah. And again, I feel like their intention, they're going to get the results of their intention.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
see? So it's always a blessing for me, and it's a blessing for them but it could be a bigger blessing for them if they chose not to steal, right? Because their intention is, I'm going to take this and
And
I'm
turn.
going to, right?
So
But
there,
no, go
yeah,
ahead.
there's
So,
two things, right? Like one is us as artists or whatever protecting our rice bowl.
mm-hmm,
Because and again the aspect of spirituality and religion, because you will be rewarded for the good things that you do. There is wisdom in everything. You have to have sabr, you have to be patient. This is God's way of retribution for the good things you didn't do. You know what I'm talking about, right?
mm-hmm,
All
I
this
do.
cultural disorder. But I think there is something between, it's a fine line between this is my rice bowl and I deserve some respect.
Mm-hmm,
And of course, not taking ownership, because Allah ya Malikul Mulk, He's the
mm-hmm.
owner of everything, the knowledge, the wisdom, and everything. So there's that. And also there's whatever that people use from our limited knowledge is an ongoing reward that is being distributed to the world. So then we learn to let go as well. So I think there's a very fine line, right? Like of letting go and okay, God will reward me versus I need to take care of my rice bowl and respect, self-respect at the end of the day.
And
And I think, yeah, tell me.
I want to add this too. As women of color, I think that a lot of uh white creators think it's okay to take our shit and and make money off of it. There's that, and that does piss me off. And again, it's like, but they can't, like when I really, really think about it, they cannot steal
Yeah.
because I laugh. I'm sure you've seen it too, right? I have to laugh of like, I'm like, really? Is that what you thought I was writing about? Oh, okay.
Ah, you mean you've seen the works
Oh, oh
replicate.
yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, they missed the point, but okay, whatever, you know?
At the end of the day, we can only share based on our limited capacity and
Mm-hmm.
capability, and maybe that's their version of what they are meant to share. Well, anyway, just putting this out there for those of you who create and get pissed off when someone expect free things from you. And for those of you who create and say, Wallahi, nah, take everything, go do what you want with it. Whichever way, I think we need to have this conversation. It's
Yeah.
tough conversations and
But I mean, I'm
mm,
not saying like my heart is clear,
yeah.
but I would say it's like a sacred rage, right? I immediately, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes I immediately get angry, but then I just release it. I'm like,
What-
whatever. But I had to be clear about both because I don't want people to think, oh, she doesn't care. I'll just take all her shit. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. It
I know,
pisses me off. And,
yeah,
whatever.
I know. It's tough. I think for everyone, there's a different struggle, whether you're a woman of color, woman of faith. If you are white, people think it's easy to get you. If you're a hijabi, people think, oh, you are too oppressed. There's just so
Mm-hmm.
many perspective, speculation, judgment. But at the end of the day, we need to know our self-worth, work on our limiting
Yes.
beliefs, and if you want to write a book, do it for you and set your intentions right that you want to serve the.
Yes.
But if things happens along the way, then go figure out and get a coach, get a mentor, um, take time out to reflect and reset, refine your goals and move forward. At the end of the day, we need to just be on a step up journey.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Cordelia, for this call. It was really lovely speaking to you again.
You're
And
welcome. I enjoy talking to you.
yeah, I'm glad we did after 20 years. And this is like our fifth time speaking in the last, not 20, 15, maybe 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Long amazing, mashallah. Okay, I'm gonna pause this. Anyways, for those of you watching us on whichever platform we're gonna be posting this, feel free to follow us. If there's something you like, tell us what you like in the comments or share hashtag mention us so we know somebody did watch our contents, and maybe you are contented and you resonate with something. Tell us what you like today. So thank you so much, Cordelia. I'm gonna pause this thing.